issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online.
Yeah, you know, Wangado. We take them from Ghana to Liberia. Yeah. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday.
Your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh.
Girl, we got some energy and babies on the table. I just wanna spend my money, baby, do me bang bang. Girl, I know you flexing, and I know you oozing. I just wanna show you good time, don't refuse me. I don't wanna walk, my energy stay far. Give me your love, don't do that. I just wanna give you all my love. So I don't wanna lie, baby, down your body, give me ginger. So while we alive, baby, when your body give me ginger. Woman, your body, they ginger me. I wanna give you service, come Miami. Turn up the party like we do it in a Miami. Girl, your pepper, they enter me. Me, I just a week for you. Make we take a shot for two. Baby, come, I don't wanna lose. You will leave a girls in the party, but I choose. Make we dance, make we jolly and booze. Everything they fall in place. Now they make a girl wind up your. I don't wanna lose. You will leave a girls in the party, but I choose. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we chillin'. You can drink anything, mommy. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we chillin'. You can drink anything, mommy. So I don't wanna lie, baby, down your body give me ginger. So while we alive, baby, when your body give me ginger. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday.
I wanna party your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I just a week for you.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.
Good day. Hello. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to another edition of Focal Talk. And as you know, last week we started a very fascinating talk. Last week we started a very fascinating conversation, and today is just going to get better. Yeah, I think there was a technical issue. I think I was being a little out in the public. Like I said, welcome everyone. We're trying to get our guests on. Today we'll be having in studio another important guest, and that's one of the most recent Washington Mandela Fellowship members who just returned from Liberia on his own Washington Mandela Fellowship experience. So, like last week we had Colina Kratupa. We had some political and social discussions, but mainly social. And this is what this platform is all about. It's a cross-cutting platform. Promises to discuss social issues, development issues, political issues. So it's not just restricted to on one segment of the society. So yes, I look forward to having a very wonderful conversation, and you all can stay tuned. Okay, so Daniel, let me say welcome to Foca TV.
Thank you.
Hello, Daniel.
Yes, Dennis is here. I'm okay. How are you?
Hello, Daniel. Are you getting me?
Are you hearing me? Are you getting me?
Yes, Daniel. Are you getting me?
I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Music playing. Yes, Daniel. Are you getting me?
Yes, I am. Are you hearing me?
Okay. So Daniel, welcome to the live stream. We're trying to settle the issue. You are on live, but then there is music playing in the background, which we're trying to get settle, and then.
Okay, yeah. So I'm hearing you. I'm not sure if you're hearing me. Is it okay now?
So hello, Daniel.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, you are actually. Hello, Daniel. Let's settle this and let me get you back on.
Okay.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Cool. Okay, Daniel, we're back on. I'm sure you're getting me now.
Am I okay now?
Yes, you're perfectly okay. So welcome to Focal Online TV.
Thank you. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure to be here today on your platform.
Yeah.
It's my debut, by the way, but I'm excited whenever an opportunity is afforded to me to speak about surrounding my work and the young people across our country. That's why I'm excited to be here today. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, there's this excitement whenever a lot of people hear about the Washington Mandela Fellowship, and you having to be one of those beneficiaries of the Washington Mandela Fellowship is such a blessing getting you. And in the next couple of days, we'll see young Liberians very busy starting another application. So you having to go through that experience and what it was like and everything. So we'll just throw you through. But to start with, what is the Mandela Washington Fellowship?
Well, okay, so thank you. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship is a program organized. It's a subset of a program hosted by the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI. YALI has, or arm of YALI is the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So the fellowship started in 2014 on the Barack Obama's era. They thought it was important for them to create a program that will showcase and expose young African leaders that are engaged into works that are impactful and that are impacting the continent. And they will take you from whoever it is being selected from Africa, take you to the States for 6 weeks, where you'll be schooled, you'll be placed at a university, you'll be taught on any of the three different tracks. One of them is the leadership in business, leadership in civic engagement, the second one, and leadership in public management is the third one. And so these three tracks you'll be spread across the United States, across universities, and based upon what you're involved with, you'll be selected for a particular track. So once you are in the States, you will be schooled in those areas, and then you'll be networked with Americans that are in similar field, so that it helps to create some exposure and create a great level of experience, and that your work can be placed on a bigger scale, and you can be able to network with people that can be able to help you to move from step one to step two, step three, step four to step five. Um, I mean, that's what the fellowship is all about. So the process is a very rigorous one. Last year, 2022, this 2022 cohort, we applied in 2021. Across Africa, we were about 45 to 50,000 persons across Africa that applied, and 500 persons of that figure, 700 of that figure were selected for the fellowship. Liberia alone submitted 850 applications, and 18 out of the 850 selected for the Mandela Washington Fellowship.
So
So
that's
it's just
that's
giving.
that's that's okay. Yeah, that's good. So I mean, it's good you kind of gave a holistic understanding about the Washington Mandela Fellowship. This discussion today is more development, but it has a political spice to it because we've here over the period of time in Liberia by maybe oh, many Liberians who would just easily say that the impact of America on Liberia has been very minimal, and I have taken that argument another way because I know that one of America's strengths to Liberia over the years, as much as they have contributed in every sector, it has been the human capacity development, and we've seen that over and over. So having you as a testimony to that sort of intervention by the U.S. government is something that's very good. But we'll go before this entire process of you having the opportunity, a privileged opportunity to be a Washington Mandela Fellow today. What was Daniel involved with?
What am I involved with before
Yeah,
the fellowship?
yeah.
All right, so I I own and run a clinic in Sino, a clinic called Denver Medical Laboratory and Clinics. We started the clinic back in April 2020. The objective for the clinic is to provide quality and affordable healthcare services to rural women and children. Um, that's the objective for the clinic. We established the clinic during the COVID crisis when businesses were being shut down, when health facilities were being lowered, staff at the facility were being lowered. And practically based upon my personal experience and that of my mother. What I was born in Sino. As a young Liberian, my mom was in her teenage level. She gave birth to me, you know, at the home of a traditional male wife. Um, the male wife, according to my mother, spread a plastic over a rock table, and that was where my mother gave birth to me. The situation that she explained created a spark in me, and my story is similar to a lot of Liberian stories across our continent, across the country, across the rural communities. That they too have given birth in the private home of a male wife. Some of them on the bare floor, some of them in the middle of villages, some of them in the middle of towns, on the football field, and all of that. So that experience, when my mom explained to me, I had to go back signed off 25 years after. And when I got signed off, fortunately or unfortunately, whatever the case is, I saw those very things that were happening, or my mom explained to me, still happening 25 years after. And I was shocked knowing how advanced the world is, knowing that the United Nations have set up what we call the Vision 2030, where they have health as number three on the 30 pillars. The 30 pillars that are ensuring that health should be something that everyone should have access to by 2030. And we live in a society now where people are still giving birth at homes of a male wife. There are no drugs in pharmacies and hospitals around the country. There are no equipment. Health facilities, especially the public ones that most of the people depend on, are very filthy, lack proper sanitary procedures and systems. And so it was based upon that I thought that it's important to start something, which is the clinic, to be able to bring about change. And so that is the work that I do. I've been on that since 2020, and it was based upon this work and the impact of what we've done. In 2 years, we've provided medical services to a little over 8,000 persons at the clinic. And so, based on that work, when I applied for the Mandela National Fellowship, I was selected, and that's what I do currently.
So that's an interesting one. I mean, you having to listen to your mom explain her own ordeal she had to go through bringing you forth as a child, and it kind of inspired you to take another step within the health sector. That's a very good one. So tell us about your experience. Oh, but before we even go to the experience, let's talk about the Liberians that managed to have qualified for the Washington Mandela Fellowship. Tell us about Team Liberia from the
I
Washington.
missed that.
You said
Yeah, so this in 2020, those of us that went to the States, we were 18 that were selected. 18 of us. We had an assistant minister from Public Works, uh, Honorable Costello. We had another young guy called Freeman Emmanuel, who's a president young professional. We had BN. We had a good deal of other people that are Howard Donor. We were 18 of us that were selected, and all 18 of us went to the U.S. and we are back in country. Um, and we involved. There are people involved with agriculture. There are people involved with advocacy. There are people involved with women empowerment, youth empowerment. Someone like Vivian of colleague of ours, Vivian, she's involved with waste management. So people are into different fields and different disciplines, and these people are making impact in their various disciplines. So we were 18 in 2020. The 2022 for the 2022 cohort, and separately we are involved with different things. Most of us just got to know each other after the selection process. We were all placed in one room to to go about the procedure for us to subsequently travel to the states, which was June of last 2 months ago. So, yeah.
so. Tell the public specifically about your own 6 weeks experience.
Well, trust me, going to the US is one thing that I did not anticipate in all of my endeavors, in all of my engagement. I never thought that I would have gone to the US anytime soon. So for me to travel to the US, I was assigned to the University of Iowa. My track was basically leadership in business. And so there we were taught a lot of things few of them I will share with you. For the first time in my life, I was taught about business. Because mind you, like I said, this was just me being passionate about making a change. I wasn't considering, about there are more details about. Like I said, most times there is one thing to have, a vision and to be passionate about something. There's another thing to blend that passion with execution. And so what the fellowship did was to educate me more about how to properly run a business so that we don't focus more on the passion about it or, effecting change and then that vision die. So how do we sustain the vision? So we were taught on that, on making it more, focusing more on a business, in a business component that is able to survive even after me. I also thought about pitching. I mean, I've never pitched before. We were basically schooled about pitching. There's something called the business model canvas. It's a whole detailed program that studies that you have to know about organizing your business. So I have a certificate right now in business and entrepreneurship from the top university in Iowa City. We were taught about business, and so I know how to start up a business right now. I know how to be a good entrepreneur. I know what are those different steps I should take to set up milestones and all the other details. I know about that. We were also being able to we were placed into several networking events that we had to meet with people from young people, older folks, people of experience in different fields in our field that give us an idea about share their experience with us, their experiences with us, and we are now being clothed with those knowledge to be able to do better than what we are doing right now. So it's like taking you from step one and placing you into step 10. That's exactly what it is. So we've come back with experience, with network, with access to a lot of other positive things that we're able to use to be able to enhance, what we do back home here. So yeah, so my experience in the US was quite exciting. It was filled with a lot of memories. We were able to get in touch because I was assigned to a university where there were no Liberians assigned besides me, and I was placed among 23 other young African leaders from across Africa. Part of the advantages, I have friends now in Ghana, I have friends in Zimbabwe, I have friends in Equatorial Guinea, I have friends in Togo, I have friends at South Africa, across the African continent. I have friends in about 17 different countries across Africa. These people are also fellows, very engaged into very positive things, and we have been able to build a network that is stronger just not in the US but also in Africa. And that's where we actually should begin with change from. These people are our first step to be able to even move out. So if I'm traveling from here to Ghana today, I have three friends there who are all fellows that have a fellowship that I can connect with and say, hey, Kenneth or um, whoever it is, I'm in Ghana. What can we do? How can we be able to plan? How can we be able to enhance our work and all of that? So, yeah. So that's part of the advantages and part of the experiences that we were able to gain while in the US.
I know one thing. One thing for sure is that the US vetting process is very rigid. So they always do the vetting process. At the end of the day, always get out the best of the best. That's how it is. It's merit based. No doubt about that. So you left Liberia on a merit based application. But what are some specific values that you picked up that I mean, as much as you were one of those bright 18 member delegation that left Liberia, what are some of those specific values that you learned or you that you thought to yourself or that you got mentored into why you were going through your track at the Iowa State University?
So I'll tell you, one of them is self confidence. Before leaving for the US, what I was doing back home, or what I'm doing back home, I wasn't doing it because I needed accolades. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to be famous. I was seeking popularity. I'm doing it because I am passionate about what I do. I wanted to achieve. So, but my confidence level wasn't as high as it is right now. You see, when you are selected from, are you there? You hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud.
Okay.
Daniel, go
So
ahead. I'm
when
hearing
you
you. You're coming through very clearly.
okay, so when so imagine first thing we were 850 persons that applied for the fellowship to be part of the 18 that were selected for to participate in the fellowship. It shows how important the work that you're doing is. So
Hmm.
it built up self confidence as a young person. And also, when you're placed in an environment to talk to people you've never seen before, to be able to convince people to look into your direction and say, hey, I'm engaged with this, I need your support, I need you to join to do this. Listen, I left from here with a lot of challenges. One of those challenges that I have or have at Connect is equipment. Medical equipment are very expensive across the world. Part of what I've been able to achieve is the fact that 21 medical doctors in the U.S. in Iowa City at a hospital called University of Iowa Hospital were able to, one of them listened to my story and was able to convince 20 other persons to join in and purchase an ultrasound machine for the clinic that I run. That's about how important what we do is and how confident I've become about what I'm doing. So part of the achievement, personal achievement, or of values is about how my self confidence has increased, my knowledge. I'm able to basically teach anybody right now business entrepreneurship from very practical and well advanced and well versed perspective. That's also things that I've been able to do, and also my networking skill that people there are people now I have contact with that I would have never had contact with if not for the fellowship. I can sit here and send email to people in the US that are very connected and very important. And so, yeah, those are part of the values that is added to what I am. And even the fact that you have sent an invitation to me to appear on your platform also shows the value of what. It also shows how my value have added as a young person in our country. So to be a fellow, to go through a regular process, 850 persons applying from Liberia, and you in a process that is very independent, that you don't have to drive your way through. And you are selected to be among the 18, which is less than 5%. Then you know how important, how valuable what you do is, and it helps to even make you to be a stronger person.
Yes, I was particularly moved when you said that. I mean, through your self confidence, first and foremost, the opportunity the platform created for you to have been a part of this has resulted to the people of Sino County specifically benefiting from an ultrasound machine, which I know indeed is very expensive. Am I wrong for that to say it's very expensive?
It is very expensive. You're not wrong. You're very right. An ultrasound machine is very expensive. That's why I've not been able to even purchase one within 2 years since we established the clinic. So yes, it is expensive. There's no play about that.
So it comes back, Let me push you, or let me push you on the social political side a bit. What you just said, and that looking at everything, all of what you've been able to achieve and build in yourself within 6 weeks. How do you respond to this argument that says the United States government has had less impact on Liberia or Liberians as a whole? How would you respond to that?
Well, that question is more like is I don't want to be trapped. Uh, you're asking a very technical question, and I'll be very biased in my response, and I'll be honest about that. I mean, I left from Liberia. I did not spend a dime. 1 cent I did not spend. I went to the U.S. Uh, I mean, with my hands swinging. I mean, you ask anybody how what it takes to go to the U.S. The stress that comes with all of that. Went to a very one of the best universities in the U.S. One of the best business schools in the U.S. Went to that school, came back with a certificate. I'm here, have good networks that I'm able to sit here and connect with people from across the U.S. Um, I also have things that I got for my clinics that will help to enhance the work. So if you ask me if about the U.S. relationship, I mean, if you even listen to the ambassador's statement, the op-ed he wrote on March 15. Part of those things that the U.S. have been contributing to our country, 79 million, more than 79 million annually, just for health-related issues. So you said work in Liberia is so huge. I mean, so I don't know from what context people are saying when they say when they say the U.S. is not doing much. What more do they expect the U.S. to do? Um, other than what they're doing right now. I mean, that's very unfair. So I think the U.S. is doing even more than that. So I mean, I would be honest about that, and I don't think the U.S. I don't know what people expect the American government to do to give us porn and feed us, or for us to feed ourselves. Because there's even this African adage that says when a man is washing your back, what do you do for yourself? You wash your stomach. So except they want the U.S. to be washing our back, that's not washing our stomach, washing our feet, washing our hands, then why are we even existing? So I don't believe so. And people have their own reasons for saying certain things, but I would not agree with that based upon my experience.
Yes, I don't intend to trap you. I actually do really intend to buttress you. It's not a trap. We actually go back and forth with these things. I'm sitting here. It's not at the level of the Washington Mandela Fellowship yet, but I'm the product of the. I can probably say to everyone almost every day that I'm a proud product of the U.S. investment in Liberia, having gone through a rigorous 10 months, another 10 months internship that led me on another professional journey. So it's not something, like you said, what more people really expect when someone's helping you to wash your back. I mean, you should be potent and strong enough to wash your front. But now you are back in Liberia. What next? What do you intend to do? You got a whole different skill. You left from here as a health professional. You've come back basically as an entrepreneur, a trainer, I would say a coach, with different sets of skills, more self confidence to keep engaged in everything. What is in it first and foremost for the people of Sino County, the young people of Sino County, and the youth of Liberia at large upon your return?
Well, what is next for me is continuation of what I do, improvement in the services we offer at the clinic. So the first thing I'm trying to do is to be able to get additional equipment, excluding the ultrasound machine. I need to have. We're trying to secure a chemistry machine. While in the U.S., I was part of those that were in a preaching competition at our university, and I won some money. I want to divert that money directly into purchasing an equipment. I need to add additional money to that money to purchase a chemistry machine. I also need to purchase another chemistry machine called a dry chemistry that does HbA1c, prostate cancer, TSH, FSH, variety of other chemistry tests. I need to purchase a second chemistry machine. They do separate work. And then we try for now the end of this year we want to commence delivery services at the clinic. So these are things that we're trying to do. We're also trying to be able to write grants, see how we can be able to apply for grants to be able to build a bigger clinic. We have a whole plan set up. The engineer, before I could even leave from here, we already set we did a plan. The engineer is completed with the work. So there's a plan to expand to leave from a rented structure to our own structure. So and also to be able to take the clinic from Sino to expand to Grand Crew, to go to Maryland, to go to River G, to go to Swedru, to go to Ganta, to go to Bon County, to go to Lofa, to go to Birmingham, across rural communities. That's part of the things that we're planning to do. So that's what next for me as a young person and for the clinic. What next for young people across our country, based upon what we've learned. Um, on the other side to it, I'm going to organize a lot of seminars for young people, invite people from across our continent, other young African leaders that are making impact, so that we can listen to people from different countries, talking to us about what are their challenges, how they have been able to overcome those challenges, how can we connect what is being the challenges are faced in with the young people in Zimbabwe, for example. How do we connect that with the Liberian setting, and how can we collaborate, to be able to move ourselves forward? So there are a lot of things we can be able to do, and a lot of plans that I have away from the clinic A lot of I also want to also have a plan to do something called to open a venture capital institution or a group that people can invest some money into and we can be able to invest into business ideas. One of the things that I see as a problem in our country is the fact that there are no there's no institution that invests into business ideas. There's none. So you can have a very fine idea. You have to take your own time to find your own money to fund those ideas. There are a lot of people sitting across young people across this country with great ideas for businesses. There's no one there's no institution that can say, listen, every year we do an annual pitching competition. Come and pitch your business idea, and you have a good business idea. Will be able to invest whatever money you need into that idea. We will own shares and equity into your business. And so we empower young people with ideas to be able to turn those ideas into realities and those realities into finances. So there are a lot of things from the experience that I have been that I believe we can be able to put into our country, into our society among the young people that can take us from point A, to point B, point C, point D, and all of that. But in general, there are a lot of plans we have, but my first priority right now is the clinic. Once I'm able to, by the end of this year, we're able to get more equipment, we're able to begin commence delivery services at the clinic. Then I'm going to focus now into youth capacity building, empowerment. Open a venture capital institution that we're able to talk to people across Liberia for them and say, hey, I need you to give me 5,000. I was talk about 5 persons, say give us 5,000 each. Let's put it as a crowdfunding. Let's put it as a money into you to be 25,000. And then we seek application for 20 young people to come and justify on a business idea. Like I have this business idea I want to do. For example, a refinery company. I want to do a fruit company. I want to open my own, agricultural company. This is how much
That's
we need
great.
to be able to get to make that idea going. And these are the requirements that it takes. If you give me this money based upon how well you're able to justify what you do, and we see good idea that we know that investment will make a lot of money, we take that money and invest. And whoever gave us that money to help us to get to the long sum money that we have owns shares in that particular company. And these are things that are happening across the Western society. And so that's why you have a lot of people there. They are millionaires. People, somebody can just have a very fun idea today. In a week or month, that person can go to a pitching competition, go to a venture capitalist, and go and sell their idea. And that person will work over 100,000 invested in 2 3 years. That person become millionaire. What can we do similar back in our country? So there are a lot of things, a lot of plans that are on books because we've learned these things, we've seen them, and we're seeing that the impact is making on the society. And we think when we do that here, we can be able to do that. And lastly, to be able to try to, you know, uh, minimize the anxiety we go in ourselves for politics. The young people across our country, everything in Liberia, about the young people is about politics. Everybody want to be seen as a strong Baku. Everybody want to be seen as a strong bull. They make a strong intellectual. The man gets able to discuss the issue. The man is able to dissect. Those are the accolades we want to get. But that particular man going home with any food, with any hope for tomorrow. He doesn't have any idea he's going to eat the next day. But this is a man who wants to be a politician because the society is making us to believe that politics is the way forward. It is not. It is far from the way. So these are things that we must be able to do because we've seen them. You see, when you've never traveled from Liberia, you've just been in Liberia, you will not understand how the world is moving. How people are surviving and making money away from politics. That people in America people don't even care about that. Few people really got interest in politics. A lot of people there don't bother themselves much about politics. It is the contrary for us here. And what is that doing for us? It's doing little for us. If I was so involved with politics like I used to be before, I was so excited about politics. But at a certain point, I realized that it's not a way for me. It's not a way for any young person. And then things started to shift up. So how do we, change the mindset of the young people to start focusing a whole lot on politics and exert similar time and energy on personal development? Because when you do that, you're able to expand, you're able to build bigger networks, you're able to be recognized by institutions, you're able to be seen as a serious person. So there are a lot more we will be able to do in the coming months and years, based upon the little experience we've gained from the fellowship and our time in the US. And I believe we will deal with more. I mean, I'm just giving you just a gist of some of those things that we'll be able to expand.
Yeah, I think your closing to this point was a whole motivation for young people, and I hope that a lot of them can take you into what you said, because the thing about it, to be the reason why people are not taking seriously, even politicians are not taking the young people seriously, is the fact that young people are refusing to develop themselves. They just want to wake up and into this political world. And the fact is, politics go with so many things. You have to be professionally developed. You have to be financially equipped. You have to be well connected, and every other thing to go with it. But again, politics is not the priority all the way for Liberia, which is 100% agreed. In other countries, like I follow on Facebook, their Washington Mandela alumni fellowship alumni is very strengthening, very much engaging. There are even other exchange programs that I follow. The alumni, especially the Washington Mandela Fellowship alumni, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, they are more of a driving force in the society. How now that you've returned, you are alumni already. What do we stand to see coming out of the alumni association of the Washington Mandela Fellowship to the Liberian population?
Well, and you made some very good points about the alumni network of the Mandela Washington Fellowship in other countries. I'm just a new, I'm just fresh. I just became an alumni, so there have been people who have been before me. I need to follow up on them and see what they have been doing before. Then I can be able to give you an informed idea. I can just say, oh, I will come with so much energy and this, and probably they are doing even more than what I would want to give. So I first have to be able to understand where they are, how far they've come from, the impact they've made. Then I'm able to, say, put in my suggestions. So can we do this or can we add this or anything? But I know all of us that are coming now come over fresh with new energy, new ideas to join what is already currently existing. Um, but I will have to. I've not been officially inducted into the alumni association in Liberia, so I cannot speak much to that until I get the information that I needed. Then I can be able to tell you, say, hey, probably in subsequent time, I can say, okay, this is what we've done, and this is what I think we can be able to add on to what they're doing. But I want to believe uh, they are doing a lot. It's just that I am not aware of that yet until we have a formal program where we are inducted, and become officially, like in context,
Yeah, because the problem, a lot of young Liberians, to be very sincere with you, Daniel, they're doing a whole lot. But what we continue to fall short on is information dissemination, using all of the available tools to disseminate information. And one of the most available now that we all know is Facebook. After Facebook, we have Twitter. Very very minimum Liberia even know how powerful Twitter is. So not many people use Twitter. And then you have Instagram. So they could be doing a lot of work with very little information coming down to the public. So I mean, so you can see where so when you are inducted and start to get very active, I think part of what you can really tie your focus on is the work. Will all do the energy to work is there, the energy to deliver is there, the energy to give back is there. But just to be a little more innovative, especially in terms of innovation and information dissemination to the public.
and I agree with you on that. That's why I've said I don't have much information because if there are information out, if they were publicizing a lot of the work they do, which I believe they're doing a lot of work, but if a lot of publicity was given that, it would be easy that even you can lay your hands on it. And you're talking about people from Nigeria and Ghana. It's just about public relations. I mean, they are just publicizing what they do. And because of that, people are following them, knowing that they are active. I'm very sure they are active, but I think it's just a little challenge with awareness and publicity, which I think when we start to have meetings and attend those meetings and events, we can be able to try to create additional, put some additional effort into the awareness part of it, so that everybody can be informed about how the impact of this program and what we're doing to be able to help to shape our continent. Because trust me, no fellow is a flop. Every fellow,
Oh,
I mean, I can name several of them that when you were not, the last program we had before traveling, the few of them that we saw, you know that the fellowship is a program of great men. It's a program of men, people with strong ideas, strong businesses, strong history. And so it's just about just the awareness about additional awareness into what is currently existing. But you will want to believe me when I say this. There are people we interact with, and then your height is shorter than them. In terms of
yeah,
the impact you're making in our society. I
yeah.
mean, it is really huge. I can be very honest about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I yes, and we. This is something that we'll look forward. Once the alumni is active, and they need available platform to send out their information. Yeah, we're here. So now by tomorrow, it's a busy day across Africa because the application opens for Washington Mandela Fellowship. So first, let's start to tell us everything about this application process. What anyone about to apply in the next couple of hours, what should they expect? How prepared should they be? What should they look up for? I mean, you are here. You are one of them. So I mean, just speak to the public.
So the application opens on August 16. August 16 should be Tuesday. But this is what I would say. In terms of the application, it's not about how much sort of words agreement that you or your writing power. It's now how beautiful you don't have to. It doesn't matter the beauty of the application. It is more about the content of your application. So you must first be someone who is engaged into an act that is highly innovative. So if you are not involved into something innovative, then the possibility for you to be selected will be hard. It will be hard. HARD, not high. Uh, so you must be engaged into something that is highly innovative. So you either like youth empowerment, advocacy, or somebody a young person that got some education and that are using their education to impact the society. It's all about impact. It's all about impact. So if you're not doing anything impactful, honestly, you're not you, to be selected is almost like 0.001 out of 100. But if you're doing something that is impactful, once you're doing something that is impactful, you don't your application don't have to be filled with sweet words because they will measure the impact of what you're doing. I'll give you myself as an example. I was on my phone and I got a message from Senator Snow. US Embassy posted the fellowship information like they're doing right now. Their embassy page posted it on Facebook. He saw it and forwarded that to me to my messenger. Fortunately for me, he sent that to my messenger. And I was inside at the clinic. I click on the message, saw the link, click on the link, sat on my phone, fill in the application in 30 minutes to 45 minutes an hour. I submitted it right there and then. I did not download the application, go to the other relative or the other person who know about writing and everything to get their opinion and help them know. I did it right on my phone in an hour and submitted the application. I was selected. If I share with you my application, it got little number of words. I did not write long. They tell you some places tell you 500 words, some places I wrote 50 words. But I was just honest about what I do and exactly what I wrote. I got selected. So it is not about how beautiful the content of your application is. It's about how impactful the particular task that you're doing is. And if you say you're doing this they will have to do background investigation on what you're doing. And so if you tell somebody, say you're in the youth organization, you are doing trade for young people, you have been able to train more than 500 persons, you must be able to prove that if you are shortlisted. If you are unable to prove that, before even being accepted, they will have to do that background investigation on you. So you can't tell the U.S. government or the or RX or the State Department and say, "Hey, I'm involved with this," and which is a lie, because you want to be convincing or you want to prove that you're involved with you're doing something that is impactful. So it's about being truthful to yourself and making sure that you're doing something that is right. There are people who have been applying for the fellowship for over 6 years that just got selected this year or last in 2022. Some of our friends from across Africa, because they were all of the applications that have been sending in, the measure of impact has been low. So you must be able to do something that's very impactful. There's a young guy, my friend Emmanuel Freeman. He has a master's degree in I think water and sanitation, but he's an engineer. He teaches at the University of Liberia. He teaches at Stella Maris Polytechnic. That young man was selected for the fellowship. You can see the quality of what he does and the impact he's making. Very young person. I mean, there's a real young lady called Hawa Donald. She's involved with agriculture. You are empowering women into agricultural activities. You can measure the impact of what she's doing. And so obviously she was selected. I mean, there's a girl from West Point who's involved with youth women or women and girls work. And there are traces of her work. She was selected. So if you are not involved in anything innovative and you want to be a part of the fellowship, have at least a 3 years plan and start to work towards it now. That will be one advice. If you're doing something that is impactful, be honest with what you're doing and submit it. And don't focus more again on the words. Don't make things too beautiful. Your work, when it is measured, you will be selected. There's no you can't write. It's not about writing a project proposal and selling an idea. No, you're not selling an idea. You're not doing a proposal. You are stating what you are and what you are doing. And that impact must be measured. You must have a specific target. So if your work is involved with your young men and young men, they should be involved with young men. If you're working with disadvantaged youth that we call Zogos, yes, those are targets. If you're a young person that have good education and you're using your education to impact society, those are good things. And you should also know the track that you're going to be applying for. So if you are involved with business, don't go apply for advocacy. No, apply for the track that's in line with what you do now. Remember there are 3 tracks: leadership in business, leadership in civic engagement, leadership in public management. So based upon what you do, you've added to the end of those 3 tracks, and it should be in line with your work. But in general, again, I will say this so that it sinks in well. It is not how beautiful your write-up is. It's about the content of what you write. And if what you write is one is able to measure that it is making impact in our society, you obviously be selected. And our country have a drought. Not many young people are really involved with a lot of innovative things. So the few people that are involved that are highly innovative, it's easy for them to be selected. That's the honest truth about it. Not many of us are involved with a lot of innovative things. I mean, if you there's a guy from Ethiopia. His name is Solomon. He was a part of the fellowship. Solomon runs a clinic in Ethiopia for women, people with stroke. There's a guy from Togo called Abevi. Abevi runs. He's in his 20s, his late 20s. Abevi has he's an ophthalmologist. He's an eye doctor. There's a girl called Na Akle from Ghana. She's involved with youth empowerment, disadvantaged youth and all of that. So if you compare that and you look at our country and our society, the reason why I say we are not much innovative because we focus our attention, we are distracted. It is just now that few of us that are coming and making a lot of awareness on the fellowship, and the fact that both see that you go into the US, the fact that everyone will go to the US now, people are going to show more interest. So they said there'll be more application. But it doesn't matter how many persons apply. The people that are highly innovative will be selected, and they will be the ones that will represent our country next year. But if you're not innovative, if what you're doing is not impactful, sorry, you will not be selected. I mean, that's the honest truth about it. Yeah.
I listened and I key points that the fellow stressed. It is not about how sweet your words are, how you intend to show that you are the master of the subject for agreement and all of that. It is not about the size. It is about the content, verifiable contents. So you don't just want to write because you feel that, or you just say things because I mean there's a regular library atmosphere. I can say whatever and just it'll be it. You have to be someone of it. You have to be impactful. You have to be innovative. If at all you are making a decision to start your application on Tuesday, but judging from your own self, looking at your own conscience, and you know that your impact is very minimum, draw out for yourself at least a 3-year plan. Start to get very active and serious with your plan, and your impact, your innovation, your contribution to society is going to speak for you. So, Daniel, I mean, in closing, what would you want to say to firstly, I would say firstly the people, the government, people of the United States of America, to Edwin Snow. At least you mentioned the senator who saw that application, and by the way, I mean, it shows some level of selflessness over there. I mean, a state man come across an application and send it to someone he knows and envisage can be it can be very proactive with what they already have. How did you look at that entire moment where Edwin Snow saw an application and inboxed it to you? How do you connect that?
Well, I mean, so there's no go first. If you're not sending that link, I might have seen it somewhere else, but I'm not sure. I mean, when I'm inside at the clinic, I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook and stuff. I'm basically involved with a lot of work. I transport drugs from here, I know. I'm into the mud, into the hills, and filled with dirt. I'm tired, exhausted. I have a lot of work to do when I'm inside. And so to receive, for him to have an information search and share with me, I mean, if he had not done it, I would have applied, and I wouldn't have been selected. So, I mean, and that's why even me now, I'm also trying to, like, I reach out to people, those are my friends, those that I'm friends with. I say, hey, you have to. Once I measure your work, I've studied, I know you're doing something. And I say, hey, you have to apply because people we have to create more of ourselves, and that and stuff. The he was very selfless. He could have sent it to his relatives and say, or just hold on to it. But I mean, just that out of kindness, you know, is something that I have always said, and that's why before I would even leave from Liberia, I was able to recognize that he is a person that helped me, you know, pointed me in this direction. And through God's help and through his recommendation or through him sharing the link, I was able to apply this letter. Now, mind you, he was not involved with the selection process.
Oh no,
He didn't share with me
it
that.
has nothing
Yeah,
to
he
do with
didn't share.
that.
Yeah, he didn't share
It
with me.
has
So
absolutely
I just
nothing to
verified
do with
that
that.
before somebody goes saying on the snow, please go back and to the US embassy. He was not involved with the application process. He shared with me the information, and we were able to use the information to, to do what we're doing. What do I have to say to the U.S. government? If people from the embassy are listening right now, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I've been able to do. I was taken from step 1 to step 5, and I know with the networks, the contact, and the education and everything, I can take myself to even step 10 or step 20. Uh, yeah, I'm grateful, and I also want to encourage all of our young people across the continent, across that listen to us, that will listen to the show later on, that we must be able to make those steps, take some steps, um, those steps that will be in the right directions, and make use of these programs. Go on websites, There are different exchange programs besides the fellowship. There are several other exchange programs. Follow the U.S. Embassy website, Facebook page, because there they always post this information up when there are exchange programs coming up. Make use of them. Apply. Do something impactful and be applying and see what it will lead you to. I think that's what I would say to people across the company. And I
Yeah,
mean,
before
what
yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
what I'm about to do back home will be huge. I know that because I now have a lot of experience in education and the rightful people to talk to. Yeah, so I can just say that little or that much that we will impact our society. We'll do more than what we've done before, and you know the society will be there to say, yes, someone said this before, and this is what is happening now.
Keywords from the fellow is that he had left from step 1 to step 5, and with the opportunity and the network created, he's going to fast forward into step 10, and something big is about to happen to him in the Republic of Liberia. Before I let go of you, there are two questions up on the social media I just want to put forward to you. Looking at what someone stressed the importance of you coming from the field of general agriculture and shifting into medicine and really producing there, with the importance of career diversity. That's the first thing they want to know. How important is career diversity? And what message do you have for others who are pondering on shifting career goals? So you're basically looking at career diversity one, and those struggling in terms of making a clear decision on their career goals. What clear message do you have for anyone out there struggling or thinking in some direction or so?
That's the first question. What's the second? What is
So the
combined?
first one is just it's similar. It's similar to say because the
Okay.
first one they're trying to really understand you coming from you earning a bachelor's in general agriculture. What how important is career diversity? Yes, looking at that.
So all right. So this is it. It is no secret that I mean, okay, it's probably a secret. Not much people know, but when I was somewhere around 9 years, I broke my hand, my left hand, and I had a different experience, a whole year of pain. The bone healed in the wrong place. But the first person who did the work at JFK, we had to go back and broke the doctor broke the hand over and did it, rejoined the hand, and that made me to say I want to become an orthopedic, a bone doctor, so that I can help children that have those problems. That was before I knew how I was birthed and all of this information. And then when I started my college life, I went to UMU. I started doing biology and chemistry. I wanted to become a doctor. And then UMU stepped their school fees way up from, I think, from $8 to from around $20. That was somewhere around 2008, 2009. Uh, and then my parents could not afford for me to stay in a private university. So I had to drop off the UMU, and then 2, 3 years after, I went to UL and I passed. And then the desire to become a doctor, after I graduated 2007 from high school, and I was somewhere around 2012, 2011, 2012, I had to go back to UL. I realized that by that time I should have already been done with my BSc, and I said, no, let me just do agriculture to cover up for this. But in turn, I've always had love for health. So in terms of to answer the question about diversity, career diversity, and all of that, it's about passion. It's about what you're passionate about. I got a degree in agriculture too, but I have always been passionate about health. The fact that I could not become a medical doctor, it was also important, and it also and I became someone who owned a clinic and have doctors and health professionals working for me. I mean, that's almost the same thing. But we should not be tied down to a particular field. We should be able to have an open mind. Most of us that do careers or do our bachelor's or bachelor's degree do make those selections based upon pressure from parents, based upon what we see our friends deciding to do, and we think that advice. It's not on the basis of what we are actually passionate about. It's on the basis of what we see, how we see the wind is moving. Everybody, oh my friend, what are you going to do today to college? Oh, I'm going to do accounting. Okay, my man, I said I will do accounting too. Those are most of the ways. There's not much, emphasis being placed or education being placed on people who are at the beginner level coming out of high school to determine a particular discipline they want to take. So we select those areas based upon what we see our friends doing, based upon friends' advice and all of that. But in essence, it is not what we're actually passionate about. And it's also good to be diverse. You should be able to pivot. Even in life, you must be able to pivot. If you realize that this is not where you are, you can move. There's a friend of mine called Abraham Goya. Abraham and I did agriculture at UL. Abraham went back to school and did laboratory technologist. Abraham right now is a medical person. The agriculture degree is not even using it anymore. So I mean, yes, we should have an open mind and be able to broaden our mindset and say, hey, even though I have a degree in this, but when things change, or I can still be able to make an impact in another area. I mean, I have friends who did biology and chemistry, and they want to do law, or they want to do public um, public administration, other areas, from biology and chemistry degree to masters in public administration. Far different from what they do. My wife, she did education. She did education. She has a bachelor degree in education, but she's working with an NGO and doing women education, girls, women and girls health. So I mean, people can have diverse career and must be able to pivot based upon what the situations are. And we are all trying to make impact in our society too. So yeah.
Yes, so thank you. I think the key word that in our highly competitive world nowadays is also it's always important not to just hold onto one field of study, but to try as much as possible to diversify yourself. And one thing I've picked up from diversification of career is that you are able to do things in a particularly different way. Because every time you want to engage something, your approach involves your different field of study. So the different viewpoints, one they all merge together, and then people be like, how do you always like to do things different? Why is it also so innovation now come at play? So I think there's a whole advantage of being able to diversify yourself in this innovative space right now. So Daniel,
Mm.
it has been very special having you. I mean, the time is all on us. We look forward to some of this discussion, and through you, who know, we might just organize a day with the four alumni, the 2022 fellow, and we all eight can have a conversation. But it has been a pleasure having you. You couldn't say more than you said. You educated my very self here. You inspire a lot of us. Thank you for representing Liberia well. Thank you for bringing back pride to us. And yes, we look forward to all of the contributions that you've come with. So, to my regards to your wife and the people of Sano is awaiting the ultrasound machine.
Sure they are. Sure they are. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Dana. You too have a pleasant day and all the best.
Okay.
Okay.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.